if you haven't seen Drew Brees' original comments on kneeling during the national anthem, he came out and said that he has no respect. He can't respect anybody that disrespects the American flag. Once again, we've got people in the media, big time people, making this an issue about the American flag and not about the injustice that's going on. So let's jump into it, fellas. Jump ball, man. What did we think about these Drew Brees comments? Is there any saving face for Drew Brees? Do you accept any sort of apology? Ron, let's start with you, bro. How did you feel about that whole incident, man?
All right, so I watched the Drew Brees interview, man, and he put his foot in his mouth. His comments were a little insensitive and a little out of line. But I gotta say, I think is it got taken a little bit too far. Did he what he said was not necessarily wrong as much as the way that he said it. If Drew Brees wants to stand for the national anthem because of his grandfathers and he has these feelings towards the military and all that, wonderful for Drew Brees. It's a lot about what you just said though, about putting yourself in other people's shoes. You got a ton of teammates that are all black and they all feel a certain way, and you know this. So maybe instead of just shooting off at the mouth, you should have thought a little bit more about that comment. Now, with that said, he did issue an apology, and a lot of people are saying, the apology is just to save face or to save his brand. And two things can be true. Like, of course, the man wants to save his brand, wouldn't you? That's one. And then two, I look at it a lot as I looked at the Nick Bosa thing when he came out of the draft. A lot of people were saying, he had racist streets. Well, he went in the locker room with Richard Sherman. So any racism that he had to deal with, that most likely got dealt with in the locker room with a guy like Richard Sherman. So you look at Drew Brees, he's in the locker room with Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Malcolm Jenkins, all strong black men who do not have a problem speaking their voice. So whatever misunderstanding Drew Brees had, I think that's going to get checked. I think we should all be judging him off with his actions and how the black people that are around him say that he's acting and judge him off those kind of things rather than just his interview and his mistake that he made in this interview. Those are my 2 cents on Drew Brees. So, yeah, I accept his apology.
I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to say I feel you, Ron, the way he said it, man. It was just something about the way he said it that he just had that vigor, that intensity to him that let me know all I needed to know about him, but I already really didn't like him in the first place. So, honestly, man, and then he did a little apology, and then, man, all these other people in the media that's out here trying to, oh, yeah, Drew Brees did this. They had Spike Lee at the team meeting. Man, fuck all that bullshit, man. Fuck Drew Brees. Man, he on some bullshit. He said how he felt. He took his opportunity, got in the moment, just like I'm getting in the moment. I'm telling you how I feel. Fuck Drew Brees. He coming out here with the bullshit. Malcolm Jenkins came out here like a G, and Malcolm Jenkins sometimes he get criticized too, but he was right. He joined the ranks of Drew Brees, and now he gonna be coming for him. He can't hit him in practice, unfortunately. So he gonna have to ride with that man for the rest of the season. That's your leader. So I know the rest of the Saints locker room probably feeling some type of way about Drew Brees right now too. Now, no disrespect to Drew Brees, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel like Drew Brees. At least he went out here and said what he said what he said, but then he over here trying to change his opinion now. So no, I don't accept his apology, and he could really miss me with all that, and I really don't care. And the next time he wants to stop football games in the middle, to celebrate with his family and all that cool stuff, you know what I'm saying? I think Colin Kaepernick could take a knee. And you want to stop a football game in the middle of this joint so you can celebrate with your daughter and all this nonsense, but you mad at Colin Kaepernick for taking the knee? Miss me with it, man. Next.
See, hop in.
I mean, not accepting that apology. He didn't have to say it. At the end of the day, I've worked with people that I know for a fact are racist. You know what I mean? And at least some of them had the common sense to just not say their thoughts. You know what I mean? He didn't have to say that. He didn't have to say anything. He didn't have to respond. He didn't have to answer the question. The fact that he didn't answer with any type of empathy, the fact that he had to get dragged through all the social medias, his brand was attacked. I'm not buying any of it. And maybe he is sorry, but the fact that he was forced to be sorry, he didn't apologize as soon as it leaked. The backlash came. Then he apologized, and on top of that, the league is 70% black. You talked about Nick Bosa, right? Nick Bosa, 2021? He's a young guy. I can understand that maybe, and he knows he's wrong, but maybe he hadn't lived enough life. He hasn't had enough perspective yet, right? Drew Brees is damn near 40. He's been in these locker rooms his whole career. How have you not had these conversations? How have you not once just been able to develop some form of empathy for your teammates, the guys you're calling brother, the guys you claim you're going to war with? It brought Malcolm Jenkins to tears. And if it wasn't such a serious subject, I'd laugh at it because save your tears, man. Stop crying over that white man. Like, he's not your brother, bro. Like, he's not.
Oh shit, that was funny.
I'm serious. He's not your brother.
Yeah.
He's not your brother. I'm not sure what went on or what transpired between them to make him feel like that was his brother, but your brother doesn't talk like that. And your brother is going to care about the things that you care for. The fact that Jenkins could have just as easily been George Floyd. And so I really don't care for Drew Brees. Maybe down the line he'll show me with some actions, and then I'll be, lukewarm on him. But no.
Yeah, and I think you guys all kind of brought it up, but Drew Brees made this thing so personal for himself, right? He made it about his connection to the flag. Even had the nerve to bring his grandfathers into the equation, right?
His grandfather too.
The thing about that is my grandfathers, they fought in the war too.
Exactly.
My grandparents fought in the war, but when they got back, they couldn't get jobs. When they got back, they faced redlining. When they got back, if they were to die in that war, when they got back, their families couldn't recoup their insurance money. See, there's systematic issues that if you only seeing it from one side of the fence, you can't understand the entire scope of the problem. And I think that is what a part of what Drew Brees was facing. Another part was the sheer arrogance to be able to know that a volatile situation is currently happening, and to still turn the blind eye to it and put out rhetoric that is divisive, that gives power and life to the other side, right? And takes away the steam and momentum that's being gained from these peaceful protests. It's just a terrible thing to put out there, I don't know if Drew Brees knew quite the impact of what he was doing. But one thing about me is I feel like you have to take a man at his word when it comes to apologies, right? I think what Drew Brees said, I think it was heinous. I think it was reckless. I think you're clearly dealing with somebody who doesn't know how to unite people. He only knows how to divide. But at the end of the day, an apology is an apology. And once a man gives it, you have to wait. You have to wait for the ensuing actions. You have to wait for what's next. So I'll hold him at his word until then. But he was never invited to my cookout, and I don't know if he was ever invited to y'all's. But you gotta have it. You gotta have a name. Your name gotta be certified to come to the cookout, and I think that's a part of the problem. We inviting too many people to the cookout. A lot of people know how to fake the funk, and people get to faking the funk, and all of a sudden they slide on into the cookout, and they trying to slide into the electric slide. When that music come on, they don't know how to move to it. They don't know how to move to it when that music come on, man. So let's